This is a video about the time I found myself in the sweetest place on earth. Magic Mango Land. A place where I found everything I've ever wanted in life. Mangoes falling from the sky, beautiful trees, a climbing gym with a generous as can be owner, and a place to paint. More specifically, an empty rooftop that would soon turn into the most perfect art studio. I was psyched, to say the least, to hopefully make some really beautiful paintings. I have to go get my things. Okay, pause. The Hannah in this clip does not know this yet, but turns out it's actually quite difficult to make good art when you've been given everything you've ever wanted. Things that are so sweet, things that seem so perfect, they have a way of enticing you down into, let's call them the trenches of delusion. Deep, dark trenches in which you can just block out any parts of reality that you want to. Now, in this video, not yet, but pretty soon, you are gonna see the sweetness get to me. You are gonna see me discover the fact that A, I am in fact in these trenches, and B, that good art cannot be made there. Then the rest of the video is me really trying to do something about that. Trying to work with reality rather than against it. I am getting very ahead of myself though. Back to the video. At this point, the only thing I'm concerned about is getting my booty back to my hostel as quickly as possible so I can grab all my supplies and set up my new rooftop studio. Now you know what you're getting into. Enjoy. Sun comes shining through. Wearing my rose-colored glasses, the world looks shiny and new. The skies are ever so blue. I'm happy through and through. This is actually an ideal studio space in so many ways. First, it has a roof. When it's 30 degrees every day and clouds simply do not exist, shade, the most luxurious thing you could ask for. Second, it's pretty private. I am in like a commercial climbing gym right now, but I don't think anyone else is coming up here, so that's perfect for me. And lastly, I have a bathroom, a sink with running water right down the ladder, a very rare commodity when you're working outside. Oh, and there's Wi-Fi. All the necessities of life: shelter, water, Wi-Fi. I honestly like this more than some studios I've paid money for. Well, it's just another Friday in paradise. So bring your A game. It looks like icing. This party won't stop. We can never run out of time sipping strawberry lime. You know I wanna shake with you. You know, as I construct my life, my routines, my living situations, my studio situations, I try to put myself in places that maximize my ability to do all the things that I love. And I have just accomplished that. My two favorite ways to spend time are painting and bouldering, and now I can switch from one to the other like it's nothing. Incredible! When I was in grad school, there was a bouldering gym like a 5-minute bike ride away from my studio, and I thought that was pretty great, and it was, but this might be better. And mangoes? Stop. All-time favorite fruit. I'm afraid I may have made a mistake. The sun has gone down a bit since when I started, and now there's another part of the tree that's looking much more interesting to me than this section. Okay, I have a little story about my love of mangoes. I had this friend, this man, not the type you would marry, wed yourself to, but he told me once how his parents had a mango tree in their backyard. And I kid you not, in that moment, I was like, sign me up. Make me a part of this family. I didn't actually say that out loud to him. The vision of even just tangentially having access to a mango tree in my life was so exotic and enticing to me. I come from the land of clam chowder, not the land of mangoes, and they're just so good and the trees are so beautiful. I mean, wow, I can't believe I'm here. Thankfully I have my own mango tree now, which is definitely for the best. Anyways, I have everything I love here. It couldn't be more perfect. Now the question is, can I actually make a painting that lives up to how good I'm feeling? Let's start round 2.
Wearing my rose-colored glasses, I tell you what I see.
The sun is shining in my eyes. I can't see.
Lonely, I'm putting my glasses on. Whenever I'm sad, I'll wear them the whole night long.
Wish I could keep going. I feel like I didn't get anything done, but I'm so hungry and I need to eat dinner, so I'll be back first thing tomorrow. I think I'm just gonna leave everything here. The worst that could happen is maybe a little dirt gets stuck in the painting, but I think a little dirt's fine. Paint literally is colored mud. Like, it is dirt. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow.
Everything is beautiful Sunday morning snooze with breakfast in bed. And I listen to the song in my head. It sings of you and the things that you do.
Third time's the charm.
'Cause you're everything under the sky so blue. I found my piece of
Okay, I'm committed to this composition now.
spending my days with you. You are my piece of heaven.
I'm having a moment. This whole thing is absurd and I don't want to take it for granted. I have been living in this like magical mango land for the past few months, and I've been given access to this gym where I get to come sit under this tree and stare at it and paint it, and I'm eating the most delicious cheesecake of my life. It's all so good, and I'm worried that instead of responding with like gratitude and presence, I'm responding with delusion and naivety. Like, it's easy for me to feel invincible right now. Like, time doesn't exist, like I will be 26 in Magic Mango Land forever. Also, every man I make eye contact with, I'm convinced that not only are they a perfect gentleman, but also that they're completely in love with me. And the cheesecake is so good and perfect. How could anything bad ever happen when the cheesecake is that good? This may sound like a great way to feel, but it's not. It's actually a very big problem. One, because it's highly steeped in delusion, and two, because delusion leads to art that looks like shit. Good painting is a lot like good storytelling. A good story has conflict, tension. Why? Because a good story reflects reality, and reality is full of tension. A good author is present and is in tune with the way the world works, and as a result is able to write a story that ultimately reflects some truth we all relate to. Painting is the same. Good painting possesses tension, and it is made by an artist who was present, who is in tune with the world. Furthermore, in a good story, there is no fluff. Each word, each sentence, each paragraph has real power behind it and is serving to move the story along. Now, of course, when you're writing, you can start with the fluffy word vomit on the page to get yourself going, but then you take that and you put pressure on it. You edit until each word is forceful and intentional. Painting is the same. In a good painting, there's force and intentionality behind each brushstroke. I really want to make a good painting, if that wasn't obvious. I want to make a beautiful painting, but I feel myself like, I think I might be too relaxed to make that happen. I feel myself like optimistically mushing paint around with no real force. I'm just la-di-dong my way across the canvas, and this is scary to me actually, but I feel myself assuming that whatever paint I slap down, whatever I word vomit out, will just magically turn into gold somehow without me ever having to put any real pressure on it or on myself. It's making me lazy, and it's making me ignore reality. Like, the reality is that I'm not invincible. Time very much does exist. In fact, I'm leaving this magic mango land soon. I'm also turning 27 soon. And now that I think about it, oh, this is bad. This guy in the water who is like really staring me down. Yeah, now that I think about it, he was not actually falling madly in love with me. I think he was just pissed off because I think I accidentally cut him off in the lineup. So that is humbling. Of course, none of those things are the subject of my painting, so you might be wondering why any of it matters. I'm gonna propose that being in a habit of ignoring reality, any part of it, is a very bad thing for the artist. If an artist is in the habit of ignoring, how are they ever actually going to listen to, ever actually going to see the thing that they are painting? And specifically with ignoring tensions, I mean, you will be able to make something very pretty and very fun to look at for a few minutes. But in the end, that pretty image, it will be fleeting, shallow wish fulfillment. Only with some tension is any beauty actually believable. So I might actually need this mango tree to slap me in the face a little bit. I need some pressure, and I need to be present. In tune. As a thank you to the owner for letting me paint here, I'm gonna sweep his mats. They need it. Day 3. Okay, today I'm implementing some rules. Rules that will hopefully invite some tension, ground me, and encourage me to be present. Rule 1 is no wishy-washy half-assed brush marks. Each brushstroke matters. Even if I know it will probably get covered eventually, I want to treat each mark like it is the mark and like it will be seen. Which I guess it will be, by you. I guess that's a bonus for making this video. Rule 2, part A, I can only work in 45-minute increments. After that, I have to take a break. I've noticed if I go longer, I start to get sloppy. And I will use these breaks to climb, most likely. Rule 2, part B, I have to be done by tomorrow. Day 4, last day. One really surefire way to ensure that something is free of fluff is to keep it short. Keep it economical. Back to writing, it's like when you have an unlimited word count, it's really easy to just ramble and fill it with filler words. But when you have a tight word count, you are forced to be sharp and succinct. You do not have room for anything that doesn't matter. That is what I want for this painting. I want every mark to matter. And rule number 3, this is totally unrelated to painting, but for a long time I was trying to get better at chin-ups, but I stopped. So I'm resuming that goal today, and I just want to see how many I can do. Maybe I'll do one for each mango I picked up this morning. I think that's like over 20. I don't think I can do that. I will try. No, I will do it. Okay, let's do it. Water. Okay. That's a start. "45 minutes. Outside of the context of school, or if you're like doing a commission, no one is really implementing any rules onto you in terms of what you make. No one is laying out clearly articulated guidelines for you. And because of that, when you are alone making things largely for yourself, I think it's really easy to feel like you just don't have any rules. Like you are this free agent who can do whatever you want. I really don't think that's true though. Just because they aren't articulated doesn't mean the rules don't exist. We all always have sets of rules we are operating with. We all are wired to do things certain ways, maybe because that's how we were trained to do them, or because we have some deep down, usually unquestioned assumption or expectation that something should be done a certain way. We don't articulate them or think about them because they're just invisible to us. They're just our normal life. But at least when it comes to painting, I would rather articulate my rules and habits so that I know I'm following the ones I actually want to be following. That's what I'm doing today. Articulating the rules. Laying the law down for myself. Okay, it's been 45 minutes, so I'm supposed to take a break. honestly don't really want to. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a new painting. I'm gonna take a break from this painting, but I am gonna start something new. I think that's allowed in the rule set. This is what I'm looking at. That little mango, I can tell it's about to fall. It's like the perfect color. So today is probably my last chance to paint it while it's still up in the tree. Let's do it. And I guess that will be my time limit. I can spend however long on it, but once it falls, I'm done. Wow, the service here is impeccable.
Yep. There you go. I have a tip.
Aww. It's so thick.
Yeah.
I can do 3 more. Day 4, last day. Well, I am a liar and a fraud. It is not day 4. It's not even day 5. I've lost count of what day it is. It's like 2 weeks later, and I've worked on this painting almost every single day in those 2 weeks. I cannot stop. Part of me is a little annoyed that apparently I can't even follow the rules I make for myself. But, I mean, the other part of me is still here for a reason. I love this studio and I love this tree, and the more I sit here and paint it, the more I feel like that. The more I feel like that, the more rule 1 is happening. Rule 1 was no wishy-washy brush marks. I wanted each brush mark to have weight. The longer I stay, the more successful I feel in this regard, which is the opposite of what I thought would happen. I thought the longer I stayed, the harder it would become for me to sustain like a focus and a presence. But instead, the longer I stay, the more I love it here, the more beauty I feel, and the more beauty I feel, the more I feel like I actually have a very important job. The more I work, the more I see, and the more pressure I'm exerting through my eyes and my hands. Not every mark I've put down has been right, but for the most part, I think each mark has helped me get closer, helped me search for the mark that is right. And even though this painting has become like the unlimited word count version of an essay, it's hard to quantify, but I don't think there's much rambling or filler. At least, there's less rambling and filler than I have in a lot of my paintings. So rule 2 did not happen, but I am very okay with that. I think it's difficult to know what rules you need, like what rules are going to be most beneficial to you. Seeing as I've been here for so long, the tree has changed a lot. First, this yellow leaf fell. Then this mango went from being like a blue to a violet to an orange before it fell. This mango, I didn't even notice it my first day. Maybe it was just very small or hidden behind a leaf or something. Actually, maybe it was just like very, very green, so blended in with all the leaves. It went from that to being a very bright orange before it too fell. When those 2 mangoes fell, the branches and the leaves completely changed because they weren't holding the weight of the fruits anymore. And yeah, each day that I came in and saw these changes, it was bittersweet. When you look at something for so long, it's a maybe silly kind of exhilaration that happens when it surprises you with a change. It's also devastating. You get attached to things. I knew the mangoes were gonna fall, but I was really looking forward to like cutting them up and eating them and having a little moment. That did not happen. When they fell, They took a rough tumble at it apparently, because I came in and they were squashed, and well, I did not get to eat them, but the bugs sure did. I guess I should be glad. At least the ants got to enjoy them. During these 2 weeks of working on this guy, I also kept taking breaks to do a couple of smaller paintings. Like for the first one I showed, I made a pact that I would stop working on these paintings once the mangoes either fell or like significantly changed color, just in order to keep myself to some sort of time limit and make up for the fact that I obviously completely disregarded my time limit that I had given myself for the larger painting. I read this thing on Instagram earlier today. Huge shout out to my friend from my undergraduate philosophy program who started working out every single day, not for health benefits or to become conventionally attractive or whatever, but because, and this is a direct quote, he was concerned that otherwise he might become lost in the world of signs and forget the things they signify. I have thought about this every single time that I've worked out since. Maybe it's a little unnecessarily pretentious, but I like that stuff if you can't tell. I think just what it means is that like sports, athletic endeavors, working out, they are grounding. They bring you down to earth, which is extremely good and helpful when you are painting up in the leaves, if you will. Anyways, I think they're grounding because, well, the results of those activities are very easily quantifiable and very closely, like, obviously tied to reality. What you get out is exactly what you put in, and that's not so obviously true in a lot of fields. They demand a full body participation, presence, if you will. They also humble you. They literally exhaust you. They literally put you in your place, rank you. And reality humbles you. Keeps one in check. Ultimately, you don't have to follow your own rules, but you do have to follow reality's rules. This is my last day, for real now. Not because I want it to be particularly, but, well, the world is saying it has to be, so that's what it is. I'm flying out of the country in a week. Back to clam chowder land, I guess that's what I'm calling it. And the fact is that in order to successfully roll up this canvas and put it in my suitcase and bring it on a plane, the paint has to be dry. And the chemistry of my materials is such that they need at least a week. My flight's in a week. So today's the day. I could, I suppose, change my flight, but then there's the reality of Delta's non-refundable tickets and the reality of my own very much not so plush bank account. So chemistry, Delta, and economics have conspired to inflict a hard stopping point upon me. I don't know. I would love to be able to paint this tree for a year straight. And maybe I will come back someday and do that. But it's certainly better to be left wanting more. To look at an image and have a liveliness of imagination in terms of thinking about what else there could be, than to look at an image and feel empty inside because the surface was just worked to death. Sometimes if it sits around too long, it loses its freshness. You know, maybe the ants would enjoy it, but I'm making this to appeal to the taste of humans. Fingers crossed. I hope a human likes it. Actually kind of nice when an external factor makes a decision for you. It's hard to know what rules are best to make for yourself, and it's hard to keep yourself to the rules you do make for yourself. Ugh. But the rules of reality will always get you in the end. So I'm very grateful to be told that I'm done. And that's that. I'll miss it up there. We're back. It has been a little while. The tree's actually a lot different now. A lot fewer mangoes on it, especially. The day has come. Hopefully the painting is completely dry because I need to unstretch and roll it up. This was such a delight. I hope I conveyed how grateful I am that I got to work here. That I got to be here, that David let me work here, and for the mango tree. And mango land. And now I'm back. Clam chowder land. Chowder is delicious. It's actually so good. This is fake. It's like a month after I filmed that initial intro, so the chowder's long gone. Oh, also, this has changed a lot. An image is developing, which I am making a new video about, so probably will be a few months until the video is done, but if you're interested in seeing how this and many other paintings develop, stay tuned. Lastly, made it back. Yes, I didn't take it, which I'm very happy about. I just need to stretch it. And once I do, if you go to my website, I have an email list you can sign up for. I have had this email list for honestly maybe like 5 years, and I don't think I've ever once sent out an email to it. So clearly I'm a marketing genius. I'm seeking to change that though. So once I stretch this, I'm gonna send it out to the list, and if anyone is interested in giving it a home, that will be your chance. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, this is reality right here. Just kidding, that's not the point of this.